So we've been covering a lot of Chad Gable because I really like his character and I think it's going places. So on a recent podcast, he talked about the fact that he hasn't won a singles title yet, and this is what he had to say. I hope so. I feel like I am disappointed in the fact that I didn't grab one during the whole run because I also don't want to give the fans the impression that, like, well, he's great, but he's also just the guy that can't win the big one, where I know I am and I know I can. But what this is doing is, I think, for me, building that first one to mean almost as much as maybe it's ever meant for anybody. I've come so close so many times. The Gunther stuff, what it did for my career, what Gunther did for my career can't be overstated. I have him to thank so much for the way he elevated me. Then moving on to the stuff with Sammy from a storytelling perspective alongside the in-ring perspective, we got so much accomplished in such a short amount of time. I feel like for both of us, it left just the right amount on the table for me as a singles guy to be like, he did so much there. He got so much done, but he didn't win the championship. So we've got one piece of the puzzle left to fill in. And I'm almost happy it didn't happen then because what we got done there, it didn't need it. I didn't need it, but now I do. And so now it's still on the table. So Chad Gable makes it pretty clear that he wants, a singles title. But I think part of this is just what I took after reading it, is as WWE fans, how much does somebody winning or losing a title really matter? Like to me, when you see this great story, right? Like the let's take Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns and just talk about this WrestleMania. Obviously Cody won the title. He won the title and he was off to the races, finished his story. But does anybody really care about like that aspect of it to the point where you're like, whoever wins is the one we really care about? Like everybody realizes that the story couldn't have been what it was without Cody Rhodes, and it also couldn't have been what it was without the bloodline. Right? You need the winner and the loser to make the story work. You can't have two winners. You have to have it that way. So even what Chad Gable is saying here, like it should be less, and I think he gets this about what he said at the bottom. I think it should be less about people going, well, he just can't win the big one, and more as fans realizing, well, that doesn't really matter. I mean, he is building great storylines regardless of the title. It's almost easier to build a good storyline with a title that you're winning, right? That's the easier version. The hard part is to kind of build these great storylines and then have them lead to a title. So I can see his frustration, and we'll see if he gets one. But certainly, I don't think title number really matters in the sense that it means like, oh, this guy can't do this, he can't do that. I think the truth is, if you get people excited for the match, then you succeeded. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.